Hello folks, it's Peter Elgar from Brentwood, Essex, England again. I haven't been on for a while because really after my life story in 3 parts I didn't have much else to say, but I've been given some more gear, so I thought I'd give you a little rundown on it. And it is a MINOLTA 7000. I was given this one as my latest toy from a lady I met on a coach trip, and she said she'd rather me have it than it goes to the tip. So I've got a couple of these MINOLTA 7000 series, so I'll show you what is the difference. The first one came out in 1985, which is this one, the 7000 MINOLTA, and it takes these batteries. It takes 4 AAA batteries, and they go in a slot on the side here. So we'll fit the batteries in like that. There we are. Now the later one, the MINOLTA Dynex 7000i, that came out in 1988, and that takes a totally different battery. They never make anything easy, do they? That's a 2CR5, that one. Now that goes in there like that, and the little cover goes on like that, and then we'll put the coin in, lock it. Now we can switch things on now, but the only problem is I've got a film loaded in that one, so I won't be able to open the back. But I'm going to show you the differences of these 2 models. One from 1985, which is this one, 1988, that one. They both got plasticky covering which breaks up. That one, look, little bits broken off there, and this one had a little piece broken off completely there, and I stuck that with super glue. That's on the grip, you see. But that one, it's a bit rough, but as it was free, it still works. So they got similar controls on the top. They run with a little LCD screen on the top. Now this one, we'll switch it on. It's on number 1 now because I've got it on the batteries in there, and also the film loaded. So we'll see if we can just show you the differences from the top plate first. This one has a program control for when the camera does everything there, and this one has a program control in a different place. You press that and it automatically puts it onto program. If it's on program here. Now we better switch this one on first. That's on program control. It sets the aperture and the shutter speed itself according to what film we've got loaded. Now if you don't want it on program, you can change it in the mode function here. So there we press that, and then on this one I think you have to press that, and that's aperture priority, manual, and shutter priority. See, aperture A, M and S, shutter priority. On this one, if you don't want program, you press mode here. You press that, and you press these little up and down buttons here. We'll press mode here. It's a little fiddly. There we are. That's on shutter priority. That's aperture priority, and that's manual exposure. Then you can have the drive control. That means how fast it goes. And on this one, you press drive here, and in this little window here, you've got SC and then ST. Now that is, you press it up and down, it goes single shot, and then you've got continue, press that one, it goes across to continuous shot. You press it once more, it goes to ST, which is self-timer. And I've used that. We'll keep it on a single shot for the moment. And on here, I can't find the drive country. There's a function one here. And that is that is plus and minus the exposure adjustment control here, which says function. That's plus half a stop, plus 1 stop. Put it back to 0 so we know where we are. On here, if you want the plus and the minus exposure compensation, we've got to put it onto a different mode, say shutter priority. You press that one. Then you press the up and down buttons here. There, like that's plus half a stop, plus 1 stop, plus 1.5 stops, plus 2 stops. That's the exposure compensation there. Now, they've both got this DX coding. When you open the back, the camera will set the ISO automatically because it has a DX coding. You find it difficult to open these MINOLTAs. So press a little button and you've got to try and, there we are, slide it down. This is the one I can open. Here is a DX coding inside. You put a film in there, you bring it across to the arrow. When you close it and you press on, it goes zip, 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 automatically winds to number 1. These are the contacts for DX coding. Now, as I use a lot of out-of-date film, I use my own ISO, and what I have to do with this one is to find in a little side drawer here on the eye model. There's a little side catch thing here. And you open it, and there's some controls here. You've got that is for delayed action there, and you press ISO here. Oops. You press that, and then with this control here, you can change the ISO you want. That's 64 in there, and I can change that by pressing that and slide that across it. It should change. It's very small buttons. Then you've got one for drive there. You go on single or continuous drive, and on this one you have what is known as memory cards, which give you special effects on the Dynex I series, and they're held in this little thing here. They're not like digital camera memory cards, they're special effect cards. We've got a fantasy one, a depth one, a portrait and a bracket. If you put that portrait one in here, it sets the camera up for portraits, which you can do manually anyway. You can do all these things manually. Now, here we are. There's a little picture here where you fit it. You put that little expansion card into there and close the back. Then when you switch it on, it will set the camera for a wide lens aperture, and a fast shutter speed, so you get a shallow depth of field for your portraits. You can do it all manually anyway. And then the card you can see through a little window. It's in there. Look, it's like a memory card. And this little thing is for a automatic electronic, what you call little control, little. What do you call it? The shutter release thing. Yeah, there's all these little cards. I don't reckon on them. Now, eject. Look, I want to get rid of that card. You've pressed that eject. Here we are. Pull the card out now. This fantasy card, is it called? That's inside the Dynex I series. With the 7000, the earlier one doesn't have that. This is more sensible. It's got load of electronic contacts around here which go to the lens and set it up for you by electrical contacts. That's where you take the lens on and off with the red dot. I'll put a lens on. It came with a stand of 50, and it came with this lens, which is a 35 to 105. I've done some pictures with it. The lady was very kind, it gave me this 50mm lens. 50mm 1.7, so this is the one with the film in. so I can't really fire things off. But this little red thing is a little signal which, when you have delayed action, that will flash. That's all that does. And then this is the one for the little slot where you put in your electronic cable release. That's the word I wanted. Electronic cable release in there. You can have it on both of them. You've got a little slider at the side. You can have them on autofocus or manual focus, like that. On one lens it goes to sort of a very close macro focus, and I find it's better if you have it set to macro focus. Do manual focus. You turn this bit here and watch it through the viewfinder when it goes in and out of focus. So that is the 7000. Now look at the hot shoe for the flash. That is the standard hot shoe, which will take a lot of different flashes. You don't have to use MINOLTA, but it came with this one. Program 2800 autofocus flash. And you slide that into your hot shoe like this. Now the maximum synchronizing speed on this camera is 1/100th of a second. And then you press on, and then you set what film you've got in here where it says ISO. Now I've got a very slow film loaded. I'm trying out some Oro NP15 rated at 50, so we set that down to 50 ISO. Now it says the easiest way to use the flash is to set your camera to program. So you just press P and it sets it automatically to program. And when you fire it, it will take your flash picture, and if you've got daylight, it will balance the daylight perfectly, so you get fill-in flash for harsh conditions. Or if your subjects are wearing a hat, as I took a guy wearing a hat, it puts light under their hats, balances the daylight. That's the easiest way to do it. Just press program, and that one does everything for you. Bit lazy, but there we are. It fills in flash. You don't have to do any calculations. But look at the other one with the MINOLTA 7000i. They changed the hot shoe. That's a totally different fitting on the 7000i. That won't take this flash now. You've got to have a new MINOLTA flash. Expensive, of course, but luckily I was given this flash, which now program 5200i, goes with the I series, and that has this new hot shoe fitting here, which goes into this 7000i. Now this is all singing, all dancing, that one, blow me. You just slide it on. Now to get it off, you've got to press this release, otherwise you can break things. Don't just pull it, you've got to press that release to pull it off, like that. It slides on very easily, and it's locked. Now that's for bouncing the flash. If you want it down, you just press it that way. Now with this one, you can press, there's loads and loads of things which will take me ages. I think I may have shown you this flash before. It takes ages to go through it all, but it will do through the lens flash metering, so that it will give you the right exposure, and you can also change it to fill-in flash. Loads of different settings here, and it is very good because I've used that as well, but it takes ages and ages to explain that to you. Just too long for this video. But that is a totally new setting on the I series for the MINOLTA. So I'll show you if I can fire this one off. So we'll put it on manual. Here we are. Look, I've got 2/50th of a second shutter speed. We'll put on a. It goes up to 1/4000th. They both go to 1/4000th. We'll come down to a slower shutter speed so you can hear things. Yeah, I'll put on 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Here we are. That sounds like 2 seconds to me. 1 second, 2 a second. Here we are. That sounded exactly like 2 seconds to me. It was accurate. I put on 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. Yep, that works at 1 second. And a nice sound. They are a bit heavy compared with the later Dynax 4 and Dynax 5. They're a bit heavy, these ones. That's on 1 second, you see. There we are. Oh, now to get this delayed action on this, I think you have to press this little thing here. See if the delayed action. Oh yeah, the delayed action comes up. Oh, now the little beeper's going now. Oh, that's flashing. Look. You watch the shutter go. There we are. That's the delayed action on the 7000i. Now, I set a reminder on the back. Don't use cut film with this, because when I sometimes use bits of test films, I cut the film in the dark, in the changing back, and I pull it out. Okay, but with this one, for some reason, you can't do that. The motor is so strong, it won't allow you to pull the film out, but unlike the 7000, the earlier one. And it's pretty blink. You can't. It's got a very strong motor anyway, so I put a reminder on there. Can't use that one with cut films for my test purposes. Would you believe it? Is there anything else I can show you on the earlier one here? Oh yes, automatic exposure lock here. If you want to get really good exposure, you point your camera down towards the ground a little bit and press that and then hold it in and then turn it up, and then you don't have to use your plus and your minus. If you've got a lot of sky in, say, you just point down the ground, press that, and then take your landscape picture like that. On this one you have a rewind here. When it comes to the end of this film winding on, there's a built-in motor, of course. When it comes to a stop, and it goes zoop, and it won't go anymore. So then you've got to press this R and pull that little lever, and it goes zzz, 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 and the film will then rewind. But on this one you don't do that. When it comes to the end of the film, it automatically rewinds for you. You don't have to press anything to make it rewind. So that is another difference between those two, the I and the ordinary 7000. That's the differences I found. Well, there we are. There's a little rundown on these two Minoltas. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I can show you. And if I find anything else, I'll show you what I can find later on. But thanks for viewing this one, and I hope to see you again shortly. It's baking hot today and I'm sweating a bit, so I'm going to have a nice cool drink now. Signing off. Bye bye everybody.